Hey everyone, your number one tech Mark here again to give you another video tutorial. In this video tutorial, we're going to be covering the Web Services Pack. So to start your Web Services Pack, what you want to do is you go to Utilities, go down to Web Services Central. It's going to bring up a separate window, and then you're going to click Start. And that is basically all that you have to do. As a general rule, if you're utilizing the Web Services Pack, you should be running this as often as you possibly can. Now, do you have to be running it 24/7? No, not necessarily. Some people do, and that's fine. But as a good idea, whenever you get into PST, first thing in the morning, you just want to start your Web Services Pack as one of the very first things that you do. And you're just going to let it cycle and run all day long. You can minimize it if you want. You can leave it up in a corner. It doesn't really matter. It's just going to continue to cycle, and that's all that you need. So anything that's going to go into PST or out of PST is going to have to go through the Web Services Pack. And then when you're ready, you just want to enter in some new information into PST. You just open up another icon from the same, another copy of PST from the same icon on your desktop, get logged in, and now you can do your work just like you normally would while your Web Services Pack is cycling. You can only run the Web Services Pack from one computer at a time. It does not matter which computer you run it from, but it can only be from one computer at a time. So we have the Web Services Pack cycling, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up a client record so they can utilize the Web Services Pack. What you would do is go to Setup, go to Client, add Edit Client, and then you're going to need to bring open a client record. You can use your wildcard and open up whichever client record you want. And then when you have the client record open, you're going to click on Internet at the bottom. And this is where we're going to input the information that they will be able to utilize through the Web Services Pack. So the first thing we have in the top right is Web/Smart Device Access. This is a login name and a password that you would have to enter and provide to your client. This gives them access to pstprostatus.net. That's a website that they can log into to see statuses, updates, attachments, things like that on any job that they are assigned to as a client. So you would give a login name. Every login name needs to start with your DBS identifier code. If you're not sure what your code is, you can find it from your license. But you need to start it with your DBS identifier code. Mine is MA8, and then you can finish it with whatever you want. And then you have a password. The password just has to be at least 4 characters, maximum of 20, www.pstprostatus.net. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is your login names need to be unique. You can't ever give anybody the same login name, or else nobody will be able to log in that has that login name. Below there, you have Allow Client Updates. This allows your client to upload an attachment from the website. Documents to be served, for example. If you want them to log in so that they can upload a document, you'll actually be able to pull that document down into your copy of PST through the Web Services Pack, and you can actually create a job based on that document that they would have attached through the website. Below there, you have PST Transfer. This is used for job trading. Now, if you wanted to trade jobs with another PST user or non-PST user, you would have to exchange your DBS identifier codes. For this example, we're just going to use this M1A. So this M1A, this is the client's DBS identifier code. They gave that to me. I gave them my DBS identifier code of MA8. Now they're putting MA8 on my server record in their system, and I have put their DBS code in their client record in my system here. Then once the Web Services Pack cycles through, it has connected the job trading establishment, and then we're able to trade jobs from there. The client on the job would create the job and trade it to the server. And the client's not going to do anything out of the ordinary, really, after this is set up. They're going to open up the job. They're going to add a new one. They're going to select the server on the job, and then it's just going to get traded through via the Web Services Pack. and then the server on the job will just pull it down into their system. And then from there, they can open it, they can edit the job, add comments, attempts, stuff like that. And then all of that information goes back to the client. So in the end, the client creates it, server finishes it. You'll both have a complete full job in your system, but both of you only had to do about 50% of the work each. Okay. Moving on from there, we have email options, status report, comments, notify when job done, and an email address below. The email address is the email address you would input for your client. You can input more than one if you wanted to by moving on from there. We have email options, status report, comments, notify when job done, and an email address below. The email address is the email address you would input for your client. You can input more than one if you wanted to by inputting the first one and then putting a semicolon and inputting the next one. And you can do as many that will fit in the field here. Now above there you have a status report comments. This is used if you want status report emails to be sent. Status report emails are comments and attempts that are on the job that have SR, which stands for status report, and REV, which stands for review, checked. So if those two are checked on a comment or an attempt and you accept, your web services pack is going to send an email automatically to the client at this email address below, letting them know, whatever the comment or attempt was on whatever job it was. The notify when job done, that will send an automatic job done email to your client, letting them know that the job's been served or non-served and the information and details about it. Now, something that's nice about the job done email is that can include a link to any document that you have attached to the job already in the job done email. It'll say link to affidavit, link to invoice, link to anything else. As long as it is marked viewable by client, then they're going to see a link to it in the job done email. And that pretty much concludes everything for the client side of things. After that, you would just hit accept and then just let your web services pack continue to cycle through like it's been doing over here, and it's going to submit those changes. So if I were to provide that login name and password to my client, in just a couple of minutes, they would actually be able to use that login name and password to log in to see statuses and updates and information on their jobs.